McMahon along with Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra inviting you to join Johnny and his guests, Robert Blake, Kenny Rogers, Monty Rock III, and from...
Okay, Kenny's here tonight, and 1 week from tonight at 9 o'clock, he can be seen starring in his first television special. He is one of the hottest entertainers around. His current album, called The Gambler, has been the #1 country album for the past 12 weeks. Would you welcome Kenny Rogers? Kenny?
Stay out late at night and play my songs. And sometimes all the nights can be so long. And it's good when I finally make it home, all alone, while she lays dreaming. I try to get undressed without the lights. Then quietly she says, how would you like? And I come to her to say it was all right. And I hold her tight. And she some special night, if my song is right, I can find a way while she lays waiting. I stumble to the kitchen for a bite, and I see my old guitar in the night, just waiting for me like a sacred friend. And there's no wind while she lays crying. I fumble with a melody or two, and I'm torn between the things that I should do. And she says to wake her up when I am through. God, her love is true. And she believes in me. I'll never know just what she sees in me. I told her someday if she was my girl, I could change the world with my little song. I was wrong, but she has faith in me, and so I'll go trying faithfully. And who knows, maybe on some special night, if my song is right, I can find a way while she lays, while she waits for
do this first. We'll be right back. Kenny, Robert, and Monty Rock. Thank you, Doc. We're talking with Kenny Rogers, Bob Blake. Monty Rock will join us. I was just looking at your album. You ever think of the day when you were a young man growing up, you'd sell 2 million albums? I mean,
it's so hard to imagine because I couldn't imagine this 6 months ago or 8 months ago because, I was striving so hard to get the gold album, which is 500,000 copies.
Your career about a year and a half, 2 years ago really started to just...
You remember, because when I first started doing The Tonight Show, I mean, it was really, even when coming on the show, people say, well, I've heard the name before, the first edition, this, that, and the other. And it's amazing what one little country song can do for you. Lucille turned the corner for us.
Lucille made it, I remember.
Lord.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have a phrase in here, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them, right? Which is no gamblers are... I've heard that, but it's become a catchword now.
We were just talking about it, that it really, while it literally, according to the song, applies to gambling, it really is it's a whole philosophy. It's a whole way of life, and not necessarily just dealing with gambling.
It's like it's all in the timing. You got to know when to get in, when to
and know when to walk away and know when to run.
All in the timing.
Oh boy, I've bought many a blackjack table myself, as a matter of fact.
Are you a bad gambler?
I must be. I've never won much.
Well, that doesn't mean in the long run you never will. I mean, that's why those places are up there.
That's right.
They're not up there for shuffleboard palaces. They know what they're doing. See, most people when they play 21 or blackjack. Don't really understand the game. They think the idea is to get close to 21. Of course, that's not the idea at all.
You mean, wait a minute, that's not the idea?
No. The idea is to make the dealer go broke.
Uh-huh.
It's not to get close to 21 at all. You
Yeah,
see, now, when people get that out of their heads, then you've got a little better shot at it.
Yeah, nothing thrills me more than to be sitting there playing what I consider big money and have some guy split tens next to me. Oh, that will... I don't know how many of you people go to Vegas that often, but there's nothing... Have you had people split tens next to you? It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I caught him in the alley after that one, too.
But you always split nines.
Split nines? Well, against the breaking hand, you'll split nines.
Right. But I love it when the dealer's sitting with a 4 and the guy's got a 6 showing. Give me a card. You see the wheels and the dealer saying, yeah.
I love it when the dealers hit pull and make 21 with 7 cards and they go, they take it. Oh, God, I hate that.
Somebody told us as I seen you last, you met President Carter, you were at the White House, or...
It was so funny because we were doing a thing at Washington, in Baltimore, Maryland, really, with the Capitol Center. Mm-hmm. And somehow, I don't know how the connection was made, but they called and asked if we would like to come to the White House. And you really have to know me to know that very few things impressed me. And even going to the White House, I really went because I thought my wife, Mary Ann, would enjoy it. I thought, well, we don't do many things. Yeah, I mean, I was going to be very blasé about that.
But I'll bet you weren't when you got there.
Well, I was okay until I walked into the anteroom to the Oval Office, and it's funny the things that go through your mind in a situation like that, because as opposed to saying, I'm about to meet the president, what went through my mind is I looked over and I saw the secretary, and I thought, that's where Rosemary Wood sat, the one that erased the 18 minutes from Nixon. That's exactly what went through my mind.
You're a few years just off beat, right?
I'm constantly behind. But then the door opened, and President Carter was there, and I went in, and I have to tell you, in all honesty, I have never been so impressed with somebody in my life. First of all, there's a whole thing that once you're in this business that you learn how to say goodbye to people tactfully. So that in this case, I mean, we knew we had 5 minutes, and I wasn't going to press my luck, but the way he got us in there and maneuvered us around and made us feel like friends and got us the hell out of there, I mean, I was like, well, thanks a lot, But it was masterful. I mean, there was...
And I think Jody Powell with a lighted torch behind you also helped. No, but they do. They show you around, and they kind of guide you around and say, and then they always have those kind of closing...
Well, anytime someone takes your hands and says, that your time is up, So.
When Ed and I did a show called Who Do You Trust for ABC for years, and the contestants, sometimes we couldn't get them off the stage. So you would shake them like this, and you'd say, it's been very nice having you with us, and you would just practically, and that means goodbye.
Steer him out of the door. But, he was such a genuinely warm person, which impressed me, because when I walked in there, I told him, I said, I had tried to get my manager to send you a telegram that said, we really appreciate the invitation. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Promise me you're not going to run off on another one of those silly trips.
Oh.
And I was going to say, and he just died laughing. He thought that was really funny. And he said, you don't know how close it came to being a silly trip. So, we got into this conversation just as a form of conversation, I kind of got over to him and I said, tell me the truth. I don't want to know any privileged information, but is this thing really going to work? And he went into about 5 minutes, literally, of explaining the difference between Sadat and Begin. And what a fascinating, the experience of standing there, hearing the President of the United States tell me, the difference between these guys. And it was really fascinating.
Well, you'll find out what a sense of humor he has when you mention that silly trip when you get your notice from the National Guard. Then you'll say, hey, maybe that wasn't...
Wasn't as silly as
We'll
it.
take a break, and Monty Rock is hovering backstage somewhere. We'll be right back. I wanted to mention earlier, Kenny's special is a week from tonight at 9 o'clock. You have Ray Charles as one of the guests, right, Ken?
Yeah, that's exciting.
Who is...
Ray Charles, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Dottie West, and some people from Crockett, Texas. We went back home and
Hey,
shot
super.
some film with my mother fishing.
Look forward to seeing it. You know, we have the Oak Ridge Boys on the show on tomorrow night, as a matter of fact. Along with Cheryl Ladd, Buck Henry, Haley Jr., and the Mighty Carson Art Players tomorrow. Bob, thanks for coming here tonight, really. Hope you feel better. Watch the bikes. And Monty, I want to wish you well in your chosen profession whenever you find out what it is.
I thank you for bringing me on.
Well.
I like to tell it's like as the world turns.
That's Monty, folks. What can I tell you? All right, we'll see you tomorrow night, and thank you all. Good night.